Before we start, I need to tell you something. This is not a typical episode of No Tears for Black Girls. What you're about to hear is the first episode of Datzhott, a new show I'm hosting that deep dives into celebrity gossip. All the facts, all the tea, and a promise. We never use the word alleged. If we said it, we meant it. Datzhott is the official podcast for Datzhott.com, a gossip site relaunching this February. In the meantime, you can catch exclusive content on our YouTube channel, Datzhott News. That's DATZHOTT News, all one word. Link in the description. Today's episode, we examine Suge Knight's responsibility in Tupac Shakur's death. For 29 years, people have been asking who killed Tupac. We're asking a different question. Why did Suge Knight survive? We examine every scenario from that night, and then we deliver our verdict. You, our No Tears listeners, are getting this episode first. Consider it your holiday exclusive. If you want more, let us know. Comment, share, subscribe. Datzhott officially launches February 2026, but you're hearing it now. My name is Samantha Paul, and this is Datzhott. Let's go. Las Vegas, September 7th, 1996, 11:15 p.m. The desert heat still clings to the asphalt on Flamingo Road. Red and gold lights from the MGM Grand pulse in the rearview mirror. Inside a black BMW 750 sedan, Tupac Shakur leans back in the passenger seat, windows down, night air rushing past. Behind the wheel, Suge Knight, 6'4", 300 pounds, former college football player, Death Row Records CEO, untouchable. They've just left the MGM Grand where Mike Tyson knocked out Bruce Seldon in 96 seconds. The crowd is still buzzing. Money changing hands, champagne in veins, energy electric. They're rolling down Las Vegas Boulevard toward Club 662, Suge's nightclub. No security detail, no bulletproof vests, just the two of them in a luxury sedan on a Saturday night in Vegas. At the intersection of Flamingo and Koval, they stop at a red light. Women in a nearby car recognize Tupac. They lean out, yelling his name. Tupac smiles, talks back. The light turns green. A white Cadillac pulls up on the passenger side. 4 men inside. 13 shots rip through the night. Glass shatters, metal tears. Tupac takes 4 bullets, chest, pelvis, thigh, hand. Suge Knight takes 1, a graze across his skull. The Cadillac speeds off, disappears into Saturday night traffic. Suge drives himself and Tupac to the hospital. Walks out that same night with stitches and a bandage. Tupac fights for 6 days in a medically induced coma. On September 13th, 1996, he's pronounced dead. For 29 years, everyone's been asking, who killed Tupac Shakur? Wrong question. The real question is, why did Suge Knight survive? Let's walk it back. Earlier that night, Tupac Shakur wasn't supposed to be in Las Vegas. He was supposed to be in Los Angeles finishing his double album. But Suge Knight wanted him there. Mike Tyson was fighting at the MGM Grand. It was a death row event. Cameras, clout, power. Tupac arrives with his entourage. Death row affiliates, bodyguards, hangers-on. Tyson destroys Seldon in 96 seconds. The arena erupts. Tupac and Suge ride the wave, then chaos. In the MGM lobby, someone from Tupac's crew spots Orlando Anderson, a Southside Crip. Word is Anderson and his crew jumped a death row affiliate weeks earlier and stole his death row chain. Tupac doesn't hesitate. Security footage captured what happened next. Tupac, Suge, and several others surround Anderson near the casino elevators. Punches fly. Anderson hits the ground. Hotel security breaks it up. No arrests. Anderson leaves, humiliated, angry. Tupac and Suge leave, invincible. They head to Suge's Las Vegas home to change clothes, then back out, headed to Club 662. Tupac climbs into the passenger seat of Suge's black BMW, Suge behind the wheel. They roll down Las Vegas Boulevard. The strip is packed, music pouring out of every casino, neon lights reflecting off windshields. They stop multiple times, talk to people, draw attention. At Flamingo and Caval, they hit a red light. Women pull up beside them. Tupac leans out the window, laughing, talking. The light turns green. They roll forward. 11:15 p.m. A white Cadillac appears on the passenger side. Gunfire. Tupac tries to climb into the back seat. Multiple witnesses confirm this. He's trying to get out of the line of fire. But Suge grabs him. Suge's version? He was trying to save Tupac. Throw him over the seat. Get him down. 13 shots fired. 4 hit Tupac. 1 grazes Suge. Suge drives to the hospital, refuses to give a statement, walks out the same night. Tupac never leaves. So what happened in that car? Let's examine every version. Scenario 1. Orlando Anderson's revenge. This is the story most people know. Orlando Anderson, the South Side Crip who got jumped in the MGM lobby, is in the white Cadillac. Passenger seat, gun in hand. When the Cadillac pulls alongside Suge's BMW, Anderson leans out and fires. Witnesses described a beefy arm hanging out the window. Orlando Anderson was 6'2", 200 pounds. It fits. The Cadillac speeds off. No license plate, no trace. Orlando Anderson denied involvement until the day he died, killed in a gang shootout in 1998. But here's what doesn't fit. Suge Knight is 6'4", 300 pounds of muscle, former college linebacker. If Orlando Anderson was aiming at both of them, why did Tupac take 4 bullets while Suge walked away with a scratch? Scenario 2. Diddy paid for the hit. In 2019, Dwayne Keefe D. Davis published a memoir. In it, he admitted he was in the white Cadillac that night. He claimed Sean Diddy Combs offered $1 million to anyone who could take out Tupac and Suge Knight. According to Keefe D., he handed the gun to his nephew Orlando Anderson in the back seat. Anderson fired. Diddy has denied this repeatedly. But the East Coast-West Coast war was real. Tupac accused Diddy and Biggie of setting him up in his 1994 New York shooting. The hatred ran deep. If Diddy paid for the hit, it explains the timing, the precision. But it doesn't explain why Suge Knight, who was supposed to be a target, barely got touched. Scenario 3. Government conspiracy. Tupac wasn't just a rapper. He was the son of Black Panthers. Afeni Shakur raised him in the revolution. He spoke about police brutality, systemic racism, poverty, power. The FBI had a file on him. COINTELPRO had a history of targeting Black activists. What if the government wanted Tupac silenced? Some believe a professional was involved, someone trained, someone who could shoot from the crowd while the white Cadillac served as misdirection. Tupac's mother believed this. She questioned why the Las Vegas Police Department never seriously investigated, why evidence disappeared, why witnesses were never properly interviewed. If the government was involved, it explains the cover-up, the closed case, the silence. But it still doesn't explain Suge Knight's minor injuries. Scenario 4. The Vegas setup. What if the entire night was orchestrated? The women who flagged Tupac down, the multiple stops on the strip, the white Cadillac trailing them from the MGM. Witnesses confirmed Suge and Tupac stopped several times on Las Vegas Boulevard, talked to people, lingered, drew attention. What if someone was tracking their route, waiting for the perfect intersection? If it was a setup, it explains how the shooters knew exactly where they'd be, how they knew Tupac would be in the passenger seat, how they escaped so cleanly. But again, why did Suge Knight survive almost unharmed? Scenario 5. Suge Knight used Tupac Shakur as a human shield. December 2025. A clubhouse room. Hip-hop manager Cash Jones, better known as Whack 100, repeats a claim he's been making for months. Suge Knight used Tupac as a human shield. It sounds impossible. Suge was Tupac's boss, his mentor, the man who bailed him out of prison and made him a superstar. Why would he sacrifice him? But let's look at what we know for certain. Suge Knight was driving. He had full control of the vehicle. When the white Cadillac pulled up, he saw it. He had seconds to react. He could have ducked. He could have swerved left into traffic. He could have hit the gas and floored it down Flamingo Road. He didn't. Tupac was in the passenger seat, fully exposed. When the shot started, Tupac tried to climb into the back. Keefe D, who admits he was in the Cadillac, said in a recorded interview that he saw Tupac trying to get over the seat, and he saw Suge grab him. Suge's version? He was trying to pull Tupac down. Save him. But Suge Knight is 6'4", 300 pounds, a former college football player with fast reflexes and massive strength. If he wanted to duck below the dashboard, he could have. If he wanted to throw Tupac into the back seat, he had the power to do it in one motion. Instead, 13 shots were fired. 4 hit Tupac, chest, pelvis, thigh, hand. 1 grazed Suge's head. Suge walked into the hospital and walked out the same night. Minor laceration. Refused to cooperate with investigators. Refused to give a statement. Left Las Vegas. Tupac never regained consciousness. 6 days later, he was gone. For nearly 30 years, Suge Knight has never explained what happened in that car. He's told different stories to different people, but he's never been held accountable. So why is Cash Jones, Whack 100, the one saying it out loud? Let's talk about Cash Jones. Before he was Whack 100, he was the truck driver. That's what Suge Knight called him. Not because he drove Suge around, Whack denies that, but because everyone at death row had a nickname. The rapper, the game was PlayStation. Cash Jones was the truck driver. After getting out of prison at 19, Cash made his first $5 million running a trucking and logistics business, legitimate business. By the early 2000s, he was a death row associate, not interested in the streets, interested in the business, masters, distribution, publishing, the money. But here's where it gets interesting. The FBI has been watching hip-hop for decades. In 1996, the NYPD created the Hip-Hop Police. By 1999, it was official, the Rap Intel Unit. They compiled dossiers on every major artist, photos, arrest records, associates, gang ties, real or imagined. Jay-Z, Nas, 50 Cent, Cameron, all had files. The NYPD shared those files with the FBI, the DEA, police departments across the country. They called it public safety. Activists called it COINTELPRO 2.0, the same program that targeted Martin Luther King and the Black Panthers. When Biggie Smalls was murdered in Los Angeles in 1997, NYPD detectives were already there. They'd followed him to LA. The FBI opened an investigation, closed it 8 years later. No arrests. FBI agent Phil Carson later accused the LAPD and the U.S. Attorney's Office of covering up police involvement. Death Row Records was under federal investigation for years. Money laundering, gang ties, drug trafficking, the FBI, the DEA, the IRS, all watching. Sean Diddy Combs, his father worked for a Gambino crime family associate, was murdered in a Harlem drug deal in 1972. In 2024, Homeland Security launched a federal sex trafficking and racketeering investigation into Diddy. Hip-hop has been treated like organized crime for 30 years, and the feds have had informants embedded the entire time. So when people ask if Cash Jones could be one of them, you have to understand the history. October 2022. Whack 100 posts a video exposing Akia Pete, known as Studabox, as an FBI informant. Studabox is a 5-deuce Broadway gangster crip. In November 2016, he pleaded guilty to federal racketeering. He cooperated, testified against gang members who were extorting Shaquille O'Neal. According to Whack, Studabox snitched on him too, called him one day, asked to meet. When Wack got off the elevator, he saw people in FBI jackets. He'd walked into a setup. But if Wack was the target, why is he still free? Why is Studabox in the system and Wack managing Tekashi 6ix9ine? March 2025. Eugene Big U Henley, a respected figure in Los Angeles gang culture, turns himself in on federal RICO charges. Before he does, he posts a video accusing Cash Jones of being an FBI informant. Big U claims Wack helped the feds build the case. Wack 100 denies it, but his name appears 6 times in Big U's federal indictment, not as a defendant, as a reference. August 2024. Wack tries to bail out Keefe D, the man who admitted being in the car when Tupac was shot. Wack offers $750,000. The judge rejects it. The financial documents look suspicious, and prosecutors play a recorded phone call. Wack tells Keefe, "This can set you up for the rest of your life. I'll get you out, and then we'll sit down and talk." Why would someone who says Suge Knight is responsible for Tupac's death try to bail out the man who fired the gun? Unless he's trying to control what Keefe says next. Then there's Tekashi 6ix9ine. In 2021, Wack became his manager. 6ix9ine is a confirmed federal cooperator. He testified against the 9 Trey gangster bloods in open court, one of the most famous snitches in hip-hop history. Why would a street figure manage a known informant? Wack is a regular on No Jumper, a podcast monitored by the FBI. Multiple No Jumper hosts have been arrested after federal agents watched the show. In March 2025, the FBI visited host Adam 22's home about Big U's RICO case. Street rumors claim Cash Jones's trucking business wasn't just logistics. Some say it was a front for moving narcotics, the same way organized crime has used legitimate business for decades. So who is Cash Jones? A hip-hop manager? A businessman? An informant meddling with purpose? Here's what we know. He keeps saying Suge Knight used Tupac as a human shield, and whether he's a Fed or not, his claim checks out. This episode is commentary based on public sources and recorded statements. Check the sources and decide for yourself. But here's what we know for certain. Suge Knight was driving. He had control of the car. He's a former athlete, massive, strong, fast reflexes. When the white Cadillac pulled up, he had options: duck, swerve, floor it. He didn't. Tupac tried to climb into the back seat. Witnesses confirm it. Keefe D confirms it. Suge grabbed him. 13 shots. 4 hit Tupac. 1 grazed Suge. Suge walked out of the hospital that night, never gave a statement, never cooperated. Tupac died 6 days later. The math doesn't lie. When you have the receipts, you don't use words like claimed or reported. You deliver a verdict, unapologetically. Tupac Shakur didn't die because of one person. He died because of many. Some fired the gun, some gave the order, some made a choice in a split second that saved themselves and condemned him. Suge Knight had control of that car. He could have ducked. He could have swerved. He could have saved them both. Instead, Tupac took 4 bullets while Suge walked away with a scratch. Suge Knight used Tupac Shakur as a human shield. Verdict: true. This is Datzhott, where the T is fire. That was the first episode. If you want more, let us know. Comment on our social media. Share this episode. Tell us what tea you want spilled next. We officially launch February 2026 with the relaunch of Datzhott.com. In the meantime, subscribe to Datzhott News on YouTube. That's DATZHOTT News, all one word. Link in the description. My name is Samantha Paul. And remember, we never use the word alleged. If we said it, we meant it. This is Datzhott.